Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to the vlog from the great, you see it, Sunshine State of Florida. And if you're watching today, you know what that means. This means it's Thursday, so it's Tool Time Thursday. And if I missed this Tool Time Thursday, my main man Steven Mims would surely let me know I missed Tool Time Thursday again. But today I have a different type of Tool Time Thursday. It's like a tool and different stuff done to get some wiring done. So I like doing wiring. I used to build mil-spec wiring harnesses for Hondas back in the day. So pretty familiar with wiring. I like doing wiring sometimes. It's very tedious and time consuming, and you got to be precise with some of the things that you're doing. So as usual, guys, if this is your first time or not even your first time checking out the channel, definitely tap that subscribe button down below, hit the bell icon, ding, for future uploads. Definitely give the video a thumbs up, costs you nothing to do it. And let's get into today's Tool Time Thursday. So today, Tool Time Thursday, I'm gonna go over some wiring, splicing along with the heat shrink. So this is called the Hystronica set, and it makes a solder and seal connectors together, and then they come with different sizes. So they tell you what the sizes are depending on what gauge wire you're using. So I'm gonna go ahead and put some wire, cut some wires and put them together and show you how they are used. And they come in pretty handy when doing wiring, or you gotta splice a wire, get a wire, and sometimes it's hard to get a soldering. So with this, you could either I use my little benzomatic flame, or you could use a heat gun to get it taken care of. I have my this is older one. They have newer ones to hold the wires when I solder them together if I'm working on a tabletop. But I'm not sure what gauge this is. Usually I could use my little fancy smancy wire stripper. What it do, it usually just, if you go like this, it grips the wire, cut it, and pull the sheathing off of it. But my gauge wire is too small for this one, so I'm just gonna use my manual one. So probably say about that much. Pull the wire. I'm just gonna use the other end of this wire, and I'm just gonna solder I'm just gonna solder this into a loop, just for the video purposes. So now I have two nice ends, and then what I do, I take whichever gauge one is gonna work for me. I'm gonna use that one. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take one end, I'm gonna push it all the way through. So what you want to do, you want to push this through. Hard to do and look at the screen at the same time. So you want to push it through to where the wire is actually into this silver band area, and then you have some sheeting on whatever color side it is, because what this is going to do is this will shrink down and hold this in place, and then this will shrink down and actually melt and fuse the wires together, but it's not going to completely melt. It'll just melt a little bit. So what I usually do is just take this other hand and you push it in, and then what you do, you push the wires together, so pretty much they butt up against each other, and then I try to just push it over to where you have it right there, right here in the middle. So I'm gonna go ahead and put it on my little holder. So I got my holder there. You can see I just pull it apart. So let me push it back together. Always double check that it's still together before you start the heating process. So I have them back together right now. Let me slide this over back to the middle a little bit. All right, so perfect. That's how I would want that right there. Got the band over the sheeting on both sides. and this is in the middle. So as I said, you could use a heat gun. It'll work, but I like to use my little torch. This works too, but depends on where you're working. You may not be able to use a torch, and then you could use your heat gun, and your heat gun will have you could buy different accessories for your heat gun to help. You know, there's like a little shield, and you just warm it up, and then everything will melt. So I was gonna use this. Let me go ahead and just use my heat gun for the purposes of this video. All right, guys, I lied. I'm gonna use my little Benzomatic. This is just so much convenient. You have makes less noise, and you don't have to have it plugged in, so you could work on it almost anywhere. But this is the piece that I was talking about, so I found it. So what you do, you usually just put it behind this, and it reflects the heat and keep whatever you have behind here from melting, cause it kind of keep the heat focused on here. So all I do with my little Benzomatic, I bought this from Lowe's, I want to say maybe about 30 bucks, and it come with all the accessories. So I took the soldering tip out, so I'm just going to use this like this. So I'm going to push this on here, and then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go ahead and start it. So there it is, I have it started. So what I do now, I just take this, put it like this behind it, and I move it back and forth. And as you can see, it's melting. So it's closing in right there. And then what I do is now I just focus right here, move it across. You'll see this start to melt a little bit. You'll smell it burning a little. So what you can't necessarily see, because I don't have like a super macro, you can see the heat from it right there. And then what I'm doing is just melting this piece right here in the middle, that little solder. And as you can see, it's kind of melting into the two wires. So that end is good. So it kind of hold, these end kind of hold the wire in place as well. So give it a little bit more heat. You can see it melting in, and then there it is. So I'm gonna let it cool. Make sure you put this somewhere that it's not gonna get burned, because all of this is hot right now. I'm gonna go ahead and put it on this axle. This axle is no good to me. Let me down. So I'm gonna let this cool down for a little bit, and then I'm gonna come back and I'm gonna, you know, pull on it to show you guys that it actually stays in place. It's good, it's clean, it keeps the same diameter as the wire you're working with, so it's not too bulky, and you don't have to solder, and then you don't have to heat shrink, and then you don't have to put electrical tape over it if you don't want. So it's cooled down to the touch a little. It's just the plastic part, and this metal piece is still hot. So I'm gonna grab this, and now it's all soldered, and as you can see, all the way around, get you a good close-up look, all the way around is soldered and protected on this end, so nothing can't go, no water or any moisture can't seep in, because it's melted down. And then you have these red bands right here that's snug to the sheathing, and this is me pulling on it. So I'm pulling on it pretty good, and it's not coming apart. So any little wiring thing under the dash, under the hood, anywhere in the car, these are not recommended for house use. So I just have to let you guys know, this is not recommended for use on house wiring. So there it is, quick, down, dirty tool time Thursday. There it is again. I'm sure you can find it on Amazon or the interwebs. I forgot where I had this. I've had this for a while, and just regular, you know, wire strippers. You don't have to be a professional. You don't have to be a professional wire guy, and you could feel confident that your weld is not going to, not your weld, but not your wire is not going to fail. I'm gonna see if I get close. If you could see, I'm not sure if it's going to focus or not. Focus. It's not focusing. I was going to show you guys that you can see where it's starting to solder in the middle seat. I don't know if you can see right there. the solder kind of is melting into both, so it's holding both of the wires in place as well. So there it is. Again, there that is. And again, that's the end of another quick and dirty Tool Time Thursday. As usual, guys, thanks for checking out the Tool Time Thursday video. Definitely give it a like. Subscribe. As I said, everything is free. To do that is support my passion, and I'm taking you guys along for the ride. So thank you again. Subscribe, bell icon, definitely thumbs up, comment, share the vids. Hope you guys learned something. Go out and practice on some wires, and practice makes perfect. Until the next Tool Time Thursday, peace.
I don't know what sleep is. I got a queen, she lit me to evening. She ripe like a peach and she snapped me to snippet. I'm well overdue for that link up in person. Text me to fall through its murder, she wrote it. Still up with courage, you're doing a service. Pull up to the crib, I'm equipped with the brush strokes. Cutthroat from the low, when no love goes. Women buddy like